Shalom. I'd like to start off by giving all praises to Yahweh, Bashem Yahushua, Bashem Kwakadash, double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone, and salutations to the hopeful elect scattered abroad at the four corners of the earth. So in this video, I want to go into how and why brothers and sisters go through infirmities in this life. You see, it all goes back to the story with Adam and Eve and the serpent in the garden. So this is Genesis chapter 3, verse 3. But of the fruit of the tree which is in the midst of the garden, Yahweh has said, Ye shall not eat of it, neither shall ye touch it, lest ye die. And the fruit of the tree that it's speaking about is a representation of philosophies and ways of life. And the serpent said unto the woman, Ye shall not surely die. Which that was a complete lie. The serpent beguiled Eve. For Yahweh does know that in the day ye eat thereof, then your eyes shall be opened, and ye shall be as gods, knowing good and evil. So in a way, the serpent told the truth here in verse 5. Because we got to see both sides of the spectrum. Duality, balance. You see, there's a saying out there that goes, you can't have appreciation for righteousness without knowing unrighteousness. Verse 6, and when the woman saw that the tree was good for food, and that it was pleasant to the eyes, and a tree to be desired to make one wise, she took of the fruit thereof, and did eat, and gave also unto her husband with her, and he did eat. And the eyes of them both were opened, and they knew that they were naked. Naked meaning that they were caught in sin. They sewed fig leaves together and made themselves aprons. So the result of what happened between Eve and the serpent in the garden was us being laden with sin. And this is just the way that the Most High ordained it. A precept that lines up with what I just read in Genesis chapter 3 is 2 Corinthians 11 and 3. But I fear, lest by any means, as the serpent beguiled Eve through his subtlety, so your minds should be corrupted from the simplicity that is in the Mashiach Yahushua. Next precept, this is St. John 5 and 3. And these lay a great multitude of impotent folk, of blind, halt, withered, waiting for the moving of the water. And this is speaking about Israelites, by the way. For an angel went down at a certain season into the pool and troubled the water. Whosoever is in first after the troubling of the water stepped in was made whole of whatsoever disease he had. So that right here was a miracle. And a certain man was there which had an infirmity 38 years. When Yahweh saw him lie, he knew that he had been now a long time in that case. He says unto him, Wilt thou be made whole? The impotent man answered him, Sir, I have no man when the water is troubled to put me into the pool. But while I am coming, another step is down before me. So that's Jake for you. They was all rushing to the pool so that they can be healed. Yahweh said unto him, Rise and take up thy bed and walk. And immediately the man was made whole and took up his bed and walked. And on the same day was the Sabbath. So let me jump down to verse 14. Afterward, Yahweh findeth him in the temple and said unto him, Behold, thou art made whole. Sin no more, lest a worse thing come unto thee. So the reason why we go through infirmities in life is because of sin. Not only the sin that we've committed in our present life, but also in our past life. This is Micah 7:9. I will bear the indignation of the Lord because I have sinned against him until I plead my cause and execute judgment for me. He will bring me forth to the light, and I shall behold his righteousness. So, like I said, we go through infirmities in this life because of sin. This is Galatians chapter 3, verse 10. For as many as are of the works of the law are under the curse, because inevitably we are under the curses of Deuteronomy chapter 28. For it is written, curses everyone that continueth not in all the things which are in the book of the law to do them. Because the works that you do brings you into the good graces of the Most High and the angels. You see, when you're not in the truth, when we were all in the world and ignorant, we wound up getting into more bullshit as compared to how your life is when you do come into this truth. You find yourself going through less precarious situations, and if you do go through certain situations in this life, you have the wisdom, knowledge, and understanding to get through it. And this wisdom and knowledge and understanding comes from the word. It comes from this truth, man. So your life improves. This truth really comforts you, considering the circumstances that we're in as a nation. Because remember, it all goes back to the serpent and Eve in the garden. That was when sin would be laden on us. You understand? And ultimately, we will all have to pay for it. We would have to pay for it as a nation. And of course, we all carry our own individual sin. So let me read that again from the top. For as many, Galatians 3:10, for as many as are of the works of the law are under the curse, for it is written, curses everyone that continues not in all the things which are written in the book of the law to do them. So, yes, of course, we are gonna still catch hell when we are in this truth. But my point is, it's not as bad. Our life improves more once we are in this truth compared to how we were when we were in the world and when we were ignorant. You understand? Next precept. This is First Corinthians chapter 15 and 50. Now this I say, brethren, that flesh and blood cannot inherit the kingdom of Yahweh, neither does corruption inherit incorruption. Behold, I show you a mystery: we shall not all sleep, but we shall be changed. You see, because these bodies that we have, they're corruptible, they're decomposable. So let me read this again. 1 Corinthians 15 and 51. Behold, I show you a mystery: we shall not all sleep, but we shall all be changed in a moment, in the twinkling of an eye, at the last trump. For the trumpet shall sound, and the dead shall be raised incorruptible, and we shall be changed. For this corruptible must put on incorruption, and this mortal must put on immortality. So we're not gonna die anymore, and also we're not gonna go through infirmities. And this is ultimately gonna take place in the kingdom when we're under the new covenant. Verse 54, so when this corruptible shall have put on incorruption, and this mortal shall put on immortality, then shall be brought to pass the saying that is written, death is swallowed up in victory. So this is ultimately going to happen when we're in the kingdom. under the new covenant, like I said. And we're not going to have these corruptible bodies anymore. We're not going to sin anymore because the scripture says, for the wages of sin is death and also infirmities. We're not going to get sick anymore when we're in the kingdom. You know, you're not going to have a bad back. So, this is what's getting ready to take place. And obviously, we're here in these last days. And we're about to witness the downfall of this kingdom. And this world that we live in is just full of corruption and wickedness and sin. However, it's not gonna be like this forever. So, I hope y'all found this video edifying. Shalom.